A few days ago, I posted a video truly with the best of intentions. I and Heritage don't engage in canceling people. Because when you cancel people, especially in the age of social media, if in fact you do that because you want their audiences to get smaller, you make their audiences bigger. And there's the whole thing of the loyalty toward friends. And speaking as a pretty proud Generation Xer, my motivation, having seen over the last 25 years, basically the entirety of my professional career, that men and women of all ages, but especially in my generation, have been canceled from every industry. My motivation was to draw a line in the sand and say, let's stop that. You have a problem with the content, you have a problem with the issues, you have a problem with the ideas, by all means, go debate them. But I have to tell you, to the students, that this old history professor made a mistake. And I'm not saying that your professors at Hillsdale make mistakes. But sometimes you can make a mistake with the best of intentions. And my mistake was not saying we aren't going to participate in cancel culture. We're not. My mistake was letting that, which we will never backtrack from, override the central motivation that I had in doing that. Because I can tell you as an old professor, but also as a dad of 4, there's one of those ideas that really worries me. It's an idea that has become cachet, not just on the left, but on the far fringes of the right. And that's anti-Semitism. And so let me say loud and clear, the Heritage Foundation, which has always not only stood against anti-Semitism, and I, if you know anything about my career, have done the same, we will never, ever, ever stop fighting against anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I mention that to the Hillsdale students, not because I believe you're flirting with that, but because, as a dad of 4 of your generation, and my kids don't flirt with that, I do know that several million Americans your age, especially young men, do. And our motivation at Heritage for making that statement was to begin appealing even more than we have to those largely disaffected young men who are looking for belonging and identity by following the wrong people. And so the second apology that I would make is especially to any friends, particularly Jewish friends, who, thank goodness because of their magnanimity, understand what Heritage and I are trying to say, that even though you appreciate the motivation and the intention and you trust us, we know that now is a particularly scary time to be Jewish. It is a time when the rise of anti-Semitism on the left, which is far more widespread and profound than it is on the right, at the same time happening on the right, means that it's very difficult. Acknowledging that in my world, which is the world of communication, that the first principle of communication is if anyone doesn't understand what you were saying, then you didn't say it the right way. I am grateful to be able to explain that here at this institution. Because this institution, Hillsdale College, is a place not just of high learning, not just a place with excellent professors and excellent students, but it's also a place, most importantly, and this comes back to my motivation, a place of the heart, a place of the soul. And in our line of work, public policy and politics, you might think that the Heritage Foundation is exclusively worried about politics and policy. We love those things. But the reason we do that is because we care very deeply, very affectionately about the American people, and especially the souls of our young men, particularly our young men, who are flirting with these noxious ideas.